Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Jefferson nickel coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we have something truly special to discuss, a coin that's been quietly waiting to be discovered in the vaults of coin collectors all over the world. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating history of the United States 5-cent coin from 1972, a piece of American currency that may look simple at first glance, but holds a remarkable story and an impressive value that might just surprise you. So, grab your magnifying glass and settle in as we uncover the significance, the design, and most importantly, the value of this intriguing coin. The United States 5-cent coin from 1972 is part of the long-running series of nickels that have been issued since the early days of American currency. But let's not jump too far ahead. To truly appreciate this coin, we need to understand the context of the 1970s and what was going on in America during that time. The early 1970s were a time of great change in the United States. The country was still reeling from the effects of the 1960s, a decade marked by political turbulence, civil rights movements, and social upheaval. By 1972, the country had begun to stabilize, yet the economy was facing inflationary pressures. Despite these challenges, the United States Mint continued to produce coins for daily transactions, including the 5-cent coin, or what we call the nickel. At the time, the 5-cent coin was made primarily of a copper-nickel alloy, a material blend that has remained a hallmark of the nickel series for decades. The 1972 nickel, like many of its predecessors, was an essential part of the nation's currency circulation. However, just because these coins were common doesn't mean they didn't have their own story to tell. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1972 United States 5-cent coin. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This image was designed by artist Felix Schlag and has appeared on the nickel since 1938. Jefferson's likeness, which is based on a famous painting by Rembrandt Peale, is accompanied by the inscription, "In God We Trust," as well as the word "Liberty" and the year of minting, 1972. Jefferson is not just an important historical figure, but also a symbol of the democratic ideals that shaped the United States. The details on this side of the coin are finely etched, capturing the dignified features of the president in all his glory. Flipping the coin over to the reverse side, you'll see a depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which he designed himself. Monticello has been the reverse image on the nickel since 1938 as well, and it is a representation of both Jefferson's architectural genius and his personal legacy. This side of the coin includes the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum and United States of America, along with the value 5 cents. But what really sets the 1972 nickel apart from its more commonly seen counterparts? It's the variations and minting errors that have caught the eye of collectors over the years. The United States Mint produced millions of 5-cent coins in 1972, but just like with any mass-produced item, some variations and errors are bound to occur. For instance, there are some 1972 nickels with slight variations in the design, including changes in the positioning of lettering or minor inconsistencies in the image of Monticello. These small details, although seemingly insignificant, can actually make a coin more desirable to collectors looking for rare specimens. Among the most sought-after 1972 nickels are those with the double die obverse error. This error occurs when a coin is struck twice, causing some of the features on the obverse, such as the date or lettering, to appear slightly doubled or offset. Collectors prize these error coins because they are one-of-a-kind pieces that can't be replicated. If you come across a 1972 nickel with this double die error, you found something truly rare. Despite being widely circulated in its time, the 1972 5-cent coin is becoming increasingly harder to find in pristine condition. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, which means they often show signs of wear and tear. Finding one in uncirculated or near-perfect condition is a significant achievement, and it's one that can greatly increase the coin's value. As with any collectible, the value of a coin is largely determined by its rarity and condition. Coins that have been preserved carefully over the years, free from scratches, dings, or discoloration, tend to fetch much higher prices on the market. The 1972 nickel may seem like a simple coin, but in the world of collectors, it's considered quite a treasure, especially when found in uncirculated condition. Even coins that have been circulated, but are in relatively good shape, can still fetch impressive prices. But now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. If you happen to own a 1972 United States 5-cent coin in uncirculated condition, or better yet, a rare error version like the double-die obverse, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In fact, depending on the condition and any unique features it may have, your 1972 nickel could be worth as much as $57,000, yes, you heard that right, $57,000 for a single 5-cent coin. It's incredible to think that a coin, which was once part of everyday life in the United States, can now be worth such a staggering amount. Whether it's a rare minting error or simply a well-preserved specimen, the value of the 1972 nickel has skyrocketed in recent years, making it a highly sought-after piece in the world of coin collecting. So, if you've been holding on to a collection of old nickels, or if you've just found one of these coins in a pocket or a jar of change, it's worth taking a closer look. You never know, you might be holding a coin that's worth far more than its face value. And if you happen to find one in uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a valuable piece of history and a small fortune. Top 2, we have something truly remarkable to talk about, the 1994 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the nickel. While it might seem like just another everyday coin, there's a story behind this particular year's nickel that you won't want to miss. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the history, design, minting process, and, of course, the incredible value of this 5-cent piece. So stick with us as we explore why the 1994 nickel might just be hiding in your coin jar, waiting to become a major find. The year 1994 was a time of transition and growth for the United States, and it marked an interesting period in the country's coinage history. By the early 90s, the United States was in the midst of an economic recovery after the brief recession of the early part of the decade. People were spending, saving, and collecting, and the United States Mint was working hard to keep up with the demand for coins. In terms of the 1994 nickel, there was no significant change in the design compared to other years in the 1990s. The obverse still featured Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and the reverse showed his beloved home, Monticello. However, what made this year particularly noteworthy for collectors was the fact that the coin was minted during a time of significant interest in coin collecting, especially among those searching for specific errors, variations, and coins in excellent condition. Let's take a moment to break down the design of the 1994 nickel, starting with the obverse side of the coin. On this side, you'll find the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, which has been the image of the nickel for decades. The portrait itself was designed by Felix Schlag, and it captures Jefferson in a dignified, historical pose. Above his head is the inscription Liberty, while beneath his portrait is the mint year, 1994, and the national motto, In God We Trust. This iconic image of Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of the United States, has graced the nickel since 1938 and continues to be one of the most recognizable features of U.S. coinage. Now, flipping the coin over to the reverse side, we see an engraving of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. The building, designed by Jefferson himself, is one of the most famous landmarks in American history, and its depiction on the nickel reflects the president's love of architecture and his legacy. The reverse side also includes the inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and of course, 5 cents, marking the denomination of the coin. It's a timeless design, one that continues to reflect the values and ideals Jefferson held dear. Despite the continuity in the design, the 1994 nickel was a part of a highly active period in coin collecting. During this time, there was growing interest in finding rare coins, including error coins or those in pristine condition. The 1994 nickel may not have featured any major design changes or special editions, but it was still part of an era when minting errors occasionally occurred, and such mistakes could make certain coins incredibly valuable. These errors, whether caused by double strikes, misprints, or other rare occurrences, are often what make some coins from this period stand out. Another reason the 1994 nickel holds appeal to collectors is due to the ongoing interest in the overall condition of coins. As you know, a coin's value is often determined by its rarity and condition, and the 1994 nickel is no exception. While many of these coins were circulated, it's the ones that have remained in near-perfect condition that have become valuable over time. Coins that have been carefully stored or even kept in mint sets are far more likely to be worth more than those that have been heavily circulated or worn out. The 1994 nickel, when found in pristine or uncirculated condition, becomes a highly desirable piece for collectors, but that's not all. There's one specific version of the 1994 nickel that has collectors absolutely buzzing, the 1994 nickel with a D mint mark. The D indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, and while it's not rare in terms of production numbers, it's become a highly sought-after version among enthusiasts due to its distinct appeal. Coins from the Denver Mint generally have a slightly different strike quality and texture than those minted elsewhere, which means some collectors believe these coins have a certain unique charm, making them stand out. As we move forward, it's important to note that even without any errors or minting variations, the 1994 nickel still holds value among those who appreciate its historical significance and design. Many collectors have found that even the most common versions of the coin, those without any specific errors or features, can still fetch a nice price, especially if they're in excellent condition. A well-preserved 1994 nickel can be a great addition to any collection, serving as a reminder of a fascinating period in American coinage. So, you're probably wondering by now, how much is the 1994 nickel really worth? While most circulated 1994 nickels may only be worth their face value of 5 cents, there are certain versions, especially those in mint condition or with rare errors, that can fetch a significant amount in the market. In fact, if you have a 1994 nickel that's in uncirculated condition or perhaps even one with a rare minting error, your coin could be worth an impressive $43,000. Yes, you heard that right, $43,000 for a single 5-cent coin. It may seem unbelievable, but the value of the 1994 nickel has risen significantly over the years, thanks to its rarity in perfect condition and the growing demand for coins from this era. It's amazing how a coin that was once used for everyday transactions can now be worth such an astounding amount. So, the next time you come across a 1994 nickel in your change jar or while coin hunting, take a moment to examine it closely. You could be holding a coin that has far more value than you ever imagined. Whether it's a mint condition piece or a rare error coin, the 1994 nickel is a shining example of how small details in coinage can lead to incredible value in the world of collectors. Top 3, we have a truly exciting coin to talk about, the 2004 United States 5-cent coin, or the nickel, featuring the iconic Lewis and Clark expedition design. If you're a fan of American history, coin collecting, or just love discovering hidden treasures, you'll definitely want to stick around. This coin isn't just a piece of currency, it's a celebration of one of the most significant journeys in the history of the United States. In today's video, we'll dive deep into the history, the design elements, and the value of the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end, because we have a big reveal about just how much this piece of history could be worth today. First, let's take a moment to discuss the historical context surrounding the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel. The early 2000s were a time when the U.S. Mint was looking for ways to honor and celebrate important events and figures in American history. The Lewis and Clark expedition, one of the most monumental explorations in the history of the United States, was chosen as one of the subjects for the Westward Journey Nickel series. The series was introduced to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition, which spanned from 1804 to 1806. It was during this expedition that Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, under the direction of President Thomas Jefferson, traveled across the newly acquired Louisiana Territory, mapping out the western part of the continent, establishing relations with Native American tribes, and opening the way for westward expansion. The journey itself was monumental in shaping the future of the United States. The expedition was an exploration of the unknown, and it played a pivotal role in the history of American expansion. The U.S. Mint decided to honor this important historical event by featuring images related to the expedition on the 5-cent coin. The result was the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel, which was part of a 2-year series designed to celebrate the expedition's achievements. When it comes to the design of the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel, there's a lot to unpack. This coin, like many others in the Westward Journey nickel series, was created to reflect the adventurous spirit of the Lewis and Clark expedition. On the obverse, you'll find a classic design of Thomas Jefferson, who, as president, authorized the Lewis and Clark expedition. This side of the coin features Jefferson's familiar portrait, which has been the image on the U.S. nickel since 1938. The design was created by Felix Schlag, and it captures Jefferson's features with remarkable detail. Above his portrait are the words, Liberty, along with the year of minting, 2004, and the national motto, In God We Trust. Now, let's focus on the reverse side of the coin, which is where the real adventure begins. The reverse side of the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel features an image of the keelboat used by Lewis and Clark during their expedition. The keelboat is an essential piece of equipment that played a major role in their journey. It was used to navigate rivers and transport essential supplies and equipment. The coin shows this keelboat in action, with the Missouri River stretching out in the background. Above the image, you'll find the words Lewis and Clark Expedition, and to the left of the boat, the inscription 1804 marks the year the expedition began. This design is meant to highlight the bravery and determination of the explorers as they journeyed through vast, uncharted territories. But what makes the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel even more special is the attention to detail and the symbolism behind it. The keelboat featured on the reverse side of the coin is not just a representation of a mode of transportation, it symbolizes the spirit of exploration, the challenges faced by the expedition, and the impact the journey had on the expansion of the United States. It's a tribute to those who dared to venture into the unknown, and the coin's design captures that moment of American history with impressive artistry and craftsmanship. Now, let's talk about the minting process of the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel. The United States Mint struck millions of these coins, and they were produced in large quantities to meet the demand for circulating currency. However, not all of these coins are created equal. As with any coin, the value is often determined by its rarity, condition, and any potential errors that may occur during the minting process. The 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel is no exception. While most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, there are certain factors that make some of them more valuable than others. One of the biggest factors influencing the value of the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel is its condition. As with any collectible coin, those that are in mint condition, free from wear, scratches, or other signs of damage, are far more valuable. Uncirculated or near-perfect specimens are highly sought after by collectors, and their value can be much higher than a coin that has been heavily circulated. Additionally, error coins, those with minting flaws or irregularities, can also be worth a lot more than standard-issue coins. These error coins are rare and often have unique characteristics that make them highly desirable to collectors. For example, some 2004 Lewis and Clark nickels may have slight misprints or off-center strikes, and these variations can drastically increase their value. If you happen to come across one of these rare error coins, you could be holding onto a piece of history worth significantly more than its face value. So, how much could the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel be worth today? While most of the coins produced for circulation may be worth their face value of 5 cents, the real value lies in those that are in exceptional condition or feature rare minting errors. A well-preserved, uncirculated 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel can fetch a nice premium among collectors, and coins with rare errors or features can command impressive prices. In fact, a 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel in excellent condition, or one with a rare error, could be worth as much as $41,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $41,000 for a single 5-cent coin. It's truly amazing how a coin that was once used in everyday transactions can now be worth such an incredible amount. The value of the 2004 Lewis and Clark nickel has soared in recent years, thanks to its historical significance, stunning design, and the growing interest in error coins. So, next time you're flipping through your change or browsing through a coin collection, take a moment to examine any 2004 nickels you come across. You may just be holding onto a rare treasure that could be worth far more than you think. And if you find one in uncirculated condition or with a unique minting error, you could be looking at a truly valuable piece of American history. Top 4. We've got a special treat for you as we explore one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1973 United States 5-cent coin, or the nickel. Now, this may seem like just another year of the nickel to the casual observer, but as we dig deeper, you'll see that the 1973 nickel is anything but ordinary. From its historical significance to its unique characteristics, there's a lot to uncover, and by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much this small piece of currency is worth today. So, let's dive right in. To truly understand the value of the 1973 nickel, it's essential to place it in its historical context. The 1970s were a time of significant change in the United States. The country was navigating through a period of social, political, and economic transformation. The Vietnam War had just ended, and the Watergate scandal was unfolding, creating a sense of uncertainty in the air. Meanwhile, the economy was experiencing inflation, and the U.S. was grappling with a changing financial landscape. In the world of coinage, the early 70s were an interesting time as well. The U.S. Mint was producing coins that would eventually be recognized as symbols of the era, and the 1973 nickel is no exception. Although the design remained relatively the same as previous years, it represented a time when the country was at a crossroads, both economically and politically. It also marks an era when the U.S. Mint was focused on maintaining the integrity of its coinage amidst increasing production demands. Let's take a moment to focus on the design of the 1973 nickel, which remains one of the most recognizable coins in American history. The obverse side features the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This portrait, designed by artist Felix Schlag, has been a staple on the nickel since 1938. Jefferson's dignified profile is paired with the inscription "Liberty" above his head and the national motto, "In God We Trust," below. The year of minting, 1973, is also prominently displayed on this side, grounding the coin in its historical context. The image of Thomas Jefferson on the nickel is more than just a symbol of a founding father, it represents the values and ideals that Jefferson himself stood for: freedom, democracy, and the pursuit of a better future for the country. Jefferson is often regarded as one of the most influential figures in American history, and his image on the nickel serves as a constant reminder of the principles upon which the United States was founded. Now, let's flip the coin over to the reverse side, where we see one of the most enduring symbols of American history, Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. Monticello was not only Jefferson's residence, but it was also a place of great intellectual and architectural significance. The building is a symbol of Jefferson's love of learning, science, and design, and it stands as a testament to his vision of a better America. On the coin, we see a beautifully detailed image of Monticello, with the words "United States of America" arching across the top, and the inscription "E Pluribus Unum" beneath it, signifying the unity of the states. Below Monticello, we also find the denomination, 5 cents. The reverse side of the 1973 nickel, like its obverse, is simple yet powerful. It not only honors Thomas Jefferson's legacy but also pays tribute to his home, Monticello, which has become one of the most iconic buildings in the United States. The design is both elegant and meaningful, capturing the essence of Jefferson's contributions to the nation. Now, let's move on to the details of the minting process. The 1973 nickel, like other coins of its era, was produced in large quantities to meet the needs of the American public. The United States Mint was operating full steam ahead to keep up with demand, and millions of 1973 nickels were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, While the coin's production was widespread, the real value lies in the condition and rarity of the individual coins that have survived the decades. As with any collectible coin, the condition is everything. Coins that have been heavily circulated often show signs of wear, such as scratches, dents, and discoloration. However, coins that have been kept in pristine condition, those that have never been used in circulation and are free from damage, are the ones that truly stand out. In the case of the 1973 nickel, uncirculated or near-perfect coins are highly prized by collectors, as they are becoming increasingly rare as time goes on, but the story doesn't end there. There are also certain variations of the 1973 nickel that have caught the attention of collectors. For example, some 1973 nickels exhibit subtle minting errors, such as double strikes or off-center impressions, which make them even more valuable. These errors are rare, but when they do occur, they can make a coin incredibly valuable to the right collector. Error coins are prized because they are unique. No two error coins are exactly the same, and their rarity only adds to their appeal. So, how much could a 1973 nickel be worth today? While most 1973 nickels that were circulated will only be worth their face value of 5 cents, there are certain factors that can increase a coin's value significantly. Uncirculated coins in perfect condition are worth far more than those that have been circulated, and error coins can command even higher prices. In fact, a 1973 nickel that is in excellent condition, or one with a rare minting error, could be worth an impressive $54,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $54,000 for a single 5-cent coin. This stunning value shows just how much the 1973 nickel has appreciated over time, especially for collectors looking to complete their sets of coins from this era. It's truly remarkable how a simple nickel, which may have once been used for everyday transactions, can now be worth such a staggering amount. So, the next time you find yourself going through a collection of coins or browsing through your change jar, take a moment to look closely at any 1973 nickels you come across. If it's in uncirculated condition or features a rare error, you could be holding onto a valuable treasure. The 1973 nickel is a perfect example of how small details can lead to big rewards in the world of coin collecting. Top 5 and last coin, we're diving into an exciting and often overlooked treasure from American history, the 2004 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Louisiana Purchase nickel. This coin isn't just a piece of change, it's a stunning reflection of one of the most important events in American history. You're about to hear the fascinating backstory of this coin, its design, its minting process, and its appeal to collectors. And, of course, we'll reveal just how much this small but significant piece of history could be worth today. Trust me, it's going to surprise you. So, let's begin. To understand the importance of the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel, we need to take a step back into the past, all the way to 1803. The Louisiana Purchase was a land deal between the United States and France that nearly doubled the size of the nation, acquiring over 828,000 square miles of land. This historic event, which was negotiated by President Thomas Jefferson, was one of the most significant territorial expansions in U.S. history. It provided the foundation for westward expansion, which helped shape the future of the United States as we know it today. In 2004, the U.S. Mint decided to commemorate the bicentennial of the Louisiana Purchase by releasing a series of commemorative coins, including the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel. This coin was part of the Westward Journey Nickel series, a series dedicated to honoring American exploration, territorial expansion, and the figures who shaped the country. The 2004 nickel, in particular, honors the role of the Louisiana Purchase in enabling the United States to expand its borders and its influence on the global stage. And now, let's focus on the design of the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, who was the key figure in negotiating the Louisiana Purchase. Jefferson's image has graced the nickel since 1938, and his likeness is one of the most recognizable in American coinage. The design, created by artist Felix Schlag, depicts Jefferson with great detail, showing his strong profile and dignified features. Above Jefferson's head are the words, Liberty, and below, you'll find the motto, In God We Trust, along with the mint year, 2004. Jefferson is a central figure not only because he was president during the Louisiana Purchase, but also because of his vision for the United States. His support for the purchase was part of his broader vision of an agrarian republic that would stretch across the continent. His actions in securing this land deal ultimately helped pave the way for the United States to become a continental power. Having his image on the coin is a fitting tribute to his role in one of the most important events in U.S. history. Now, let's turn the coin over and take a look at the reverse side, where we find a striking and dynamic design. The reverse features a depiction of the American expedition, with the Lewis and Clark expedition prominently featured in the artwork. The design was created by artist Norman E. Namath and shows a keelboat traveling across the Missouri River, an image that symbolizes the journey that the Lewis and Clark expedition undertook after the Louisiana Purchase. This expedition, which was authorized by Jefferson himself, explored the newly acquired lands, gathering information about the territory's geography, native tribes, and resources. The keelboat was a vital part of the expedition, used to transport supplies, equipment, and the explorers themselves through the rugged western territories. The reverse side of the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel also includes the inscription, Louisiana Purchase, marking the historical event that the coin is meant to commemorate. The boat is shown moving down the Missouri River, with a strong and determined sense of motion. Above the image, you'll find the words, United States of America, and the coin's denomination, 5 cents, is displayed below the keelboat. This imagery perfectly captures the spirit of exploration and the ambition of the United States during this pivotal time in history. The Louisiana Purchase nickel is much more than just a coin, it's a snapshot of American history. The images on the reverse of the coin not only honor the Lewis and Clark expedition but also symbolize the broader spirit of adventure and exploration that the Louisiana Purchase set into motion. It's a piece of art that connects the past with the present, giving modern-day Americans a way to reflect on the bold steps taken by the country's early leaders. Now, let's talk about the minting process. The 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel was struck by the United States Mint at its Philadelphia and Denver mints. Like other coins in the Westward Journey nickel series, millions of these coins were produced and released into circulation. Despite this high production number, finding an uncirculated version of the coin in excellent condition is becoming increasingly rare. Many of these coins were used for everyday transactions, which means they've often been worn down or tarnished over time. This is where the value lies. For collectors, coins in pristine condition or with unique characteristics are what make a coin valuable. The 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel is a great example of how condition can make all the difference in determining a coin's value. Uncirculated coins, or coins that have never been used in circulation and are free from any wear or damage, are highly sought after by collectors. These coins are often stored in protective holders, kept away from the elements, and preserved in mint condition. Because of this, they are much rarer and more valuable than their circulated counterparts. Furthermore, the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel also has its fair share of error coins. Minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center impressions, or unusual die cracks, can significantly increase a coin's value. These error coins are one-of-a-kind and highly prized by collectors because they are unique pieces of history. If you happen to come across a 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel with an error, you could be sitting on a valuable treasure. So, how much could a 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel be worth today? While most of the coins released for circulation are still worth their face value of 5 cents, those that are in mint condition or feature a rare error can be worth much more. In fact, an uncirculated 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel, or one with a significant minting error, could be worth as much as $40,000, that's right, $40,000 for a single nickel. It's amazing how something as small and seemingly insignificant as a 5-cent coin can have such incredible value. The historical significance, the unique design, and the rarity of well-preserved or error coins make this particular nickel highly coveted by collectors. So, if you have any 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickels lying around, make sure to take a close look at them. They could be worth far more than you think. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 2004 Louisiana Purchase nickel and its fascinating history. If you found this video informative and exciting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.